Belichick says, that's enough. Peppers, get out there.
Here's your old teammate, Zeke Elliott, showing a burst and picking up 11.
Crackdown on the outside. And I'm actually impressed with the tight ends blocking so far this year. They sacks way too much.
2nd and 9. And Zeke again gets called on, and he's about 4 yards short of a first.
That was a good run.
Look at Elliott. Elliott showing some speed.
They've been able to get them off the field. Jim?
This play, thank you, Trace. Handoff. And look at Zeke. He's going to be stopped for about 2. He turns it almost into 6. Look at 7. Look at this. Open up for Elliott. Going around Reed, and Wilson runs down with him. Here's a first down run for about 13.
Game that you really, both teams know they really had to come in here and give their best foot forward.
Elliott's getting a lot of work today, and he's performing. He's got another first down. That's 12 carries. 2nd and 7. And Zeke.
And I think Belichick says, that's enough. Peppers, get out there.
Here's your old teammate, Zeke Elliott, showing a burst and picking up 11.
Crackdown on the outside. And I'm actually impressed with the tight ends blocking so far this year. They've sacks way too much.
2nd and 9. And Zeke again gets called on, and he's about 4 yards short of a first.
That was a good run.
Look at Elliott. Elliott showing some speed.
They've been able to get them off the field. Jim?
Play, thank you, Trace. Handoff. And look at Zeke. He's going to be stopped for about 2. He turns it almost into 6. Look at 7. Look at this. Open up for Elliott. Going around Reed, and Wilson runs down with him. There's a first down run for about 13.
Game that you really, both teams know they really had to come in here and give their best foot forward.
Elliott's getting a lot of work today, and he's performing. He's got another first down. That's 12 carries. 2nd and 7. And Zeke.
And I think Belichick says, that's enough. Peppers, get out there.
Here's your old teammate, Zeke Elliott, showing a burst and picking up 11.
Crackdown on the outside.
Have you ever noticed on that John Carpenter Halloween theme, the sound of footsteps? It sounds like somebody's trying to track you down, that whole theme. What's good, Joe?
Hunting you.
Have you ever realized that? It sounds like footsteps. It's like two, 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 two. You know, and I'm a little concerned as we kick off here in the trenches, week 4, Bob, that the footsteps of a once friend is now a foe returns to AT&T Stadium today. And you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. We're talking about the assistant coach obviously we are talking about Ezekiel Elliott, who I think most of us still got a lot of love for. But today, that love needs to be thrown out the window. We are hoping we've got a situation where we just basically nullify him. Now, I don't think Belichick is the kind of coach that's like, let's stir this controversy up and start and just run Zeke ad nauseum. No, they're going to probably run a lot of Ramondre Stevenson and have Zeke back up as he normally does. But Zeke's going to try and score on us for sure, especially if they got us in the end zone, in the red zone. So,
yeah, I would just say this much, because y'all know in my ESPN leagues, if you got Ezekiel Elliott, somehow you had him stashed on your bench, I would probably play him as a flex today. If you get a chance, you know, it's 12 o'clock before the Cowboys game. You can still make your adjustments, but let's get some shout outs to everybody. Y'all, we're streaming live on 3 platforms here today. It is week 4 of In the Trenches. That's right, the pregame. The Patriots are visiting your Dallas Cowboys. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Cowboys Cousins. We're live on BDG and OAT. Shout out to all of the Cowboy fans at OAT. Shout out to all the Cowboy fans out there on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And
Tasha, what is good, Tasha? It's been a minute since I talked to you. You've been busy. It's good to see you. If you're still in the business that you're in, I'm super happy for you and so happy for your support still and that you still stay in contact. Much love.
That's the muscle out there. I see you,
Yeah.
Tasha. And then lastly, like I said, we're live on X2 as well. So shout out to everybody over there on the Elon Musk own platform now. It is week 4 in the trenches. We're going to be going over our keys to the victory today. So if you're tuning in here with us today, make sure you give us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Big game today for the Cowboys. Are they a fraud or not? There's been a lot of hate on our team this week, especially in the media. After the Dallas Cowboys went out to State Farm Stadium and got our asses handed to us by the Arizona Cardinals. Are the Cowboys on some snapback today, Bob? What's your initial thoughts?
Well, we've got some good statistics going for us, and I'm not going to give you exact numbers because I don't have them. But I know this. I know that Dak has, if not the best, if one of the best, if not the best, quarterback ratings after a loss out of any quarterback in the last 5 years. And it's something that we talk about a lot, how Dak is always that guy who doesn't make those mistakes over and over. And you could call those interceptions last year mistakes over and over, but you got to understand, what if it was a bad throw that was an interception followed by a tip that a wide receiver didn't catch, and that was an interception? That's not a pattern. That's something that's happening that's going wrong. I think this year and today especially, he shows up and is one of the difference makers. I'm not calling anything because last year I called for a smoke show against the freaking Cardinals, and they came out and whipped their ass, and I can't handle it. I'm still reeling from that shit. So I'm just hoping by wearing Parsons and talking about Dak that we can have those two captains do something positive for this team today.
I feel you. We got the official Dallas Cowboys injury report from the official Dallas Cowboys website. As you can see, big concerns. Tyron Smith has been ruled out as of yesterday. Musical chairs on this offensive line. You got Tyler Biadasz still been questionable. Chuma Edoga as well, too, on this offensive line, been questionable. CeeDee Lamb, we know he's going to be playing today. As we've seen him in the media talking about, throw me the rock, I'll score. We're going to get to that as the big question of the show. And I think y'all know what it is because we've been asking the same question here for 4 weeks. We got D-Law up there, too, unspecified. Zach Martin, too, as questionable. Oh, the offensive line woes. Can we get some continuity on this offensive line as Tyron Smith has been ruled out? Tony Pollard, unspecified. I'm expecting he's playing. I don't know what's going on with him, but that's your official injury report from the Dallas Cowboys website. I think the biggest thing is today, will this Dallas Cowboys run defense show up? Because remember them footsteps I was telling you about on that John Carpenter intro?
I do.
Man, I don't want to hear the footsteps of Zeke today, especially after this Dallas Cowboys defense gave up 222 yards on the ground. Because you know Belichick is going to take an Ezekiel Elliott and come in here and try to get a touchdown or two with our guy Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, he still looked like he got it after 8 years if you caught the intro. Did you see the intro, those highlights of him and the Patriots this year, Bob?
Yeah, but let's not forget that while we have given up some good yardage to a running back, we've only given up 1 touchdown to a running back this season. So the real key here is putting enough pressure on them where they're not in a red zone situation, that they put them in I form or single back and just have them hammer through the line. That's not something we're great. We're finishing. We're stopping real well. Although, again, I say we've only allowed 1 rushing touchdown, so that needs to be reminded. But we haven't heard Muzzy Smith's name. We haven't heard great stuff by this guy on the run, great stuff by that guy. And last week they ran outside on us more than they ran inside, and they absolutely killed us on the NFL 22 or whatever they call it. I was watching it. They killed us on the outside. So linebacker play last week was a killer. So.
Yeah, LVE was running
13
from behind.
Yeah,
the ends were crashing on the quarterback. That's why they was running it outside. Like it was just like, what are they doing?
You want LVE running this way. You don't want him running that way. That's not what he excels in.
Shout out to all of our Green Badges that are tapping in here today. Y'all know this content is brought to you by our Green Badge supporters. Thank you, Bob, for being a Green Badge supporter here today too as well. We got Nicole tapping in, says, I hope to see penalties and red zone issues cleaned up. Thank you. Can I get an amen, church? Jesus Christ. Over double-digit penalties last game for over triple-digit yards. Yes.
Look, that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened in a long time either, y'all. For real, we know this. I mean, as much as McCarthy doesn't know how to watch a clock at the end of a game and all these other things, for the most part, we're not a super penalized team. Now we do wallow in those waters, but we're not getting called all the time. Last week was one of those things that I'm glad happens in week 3 and not week 15. So that right there is when the only thing I'm going to pull positive out of that BS, because that last week was a mockery. I hope the team that we see today is completely different at home in front of our fans, and especially a little bit of that emotion of Zeke being back and defense coming in and absolutely going buck effing wild on the offense of the New England Patriots, because I just don't see them having much of a chance to beat us today. But I said that last week, so.
Let's take a look at stat music, baby. You know, men lie, women lie, but the numbers, they sure don't. As we talking about penalties, Nicole the Green Badge brought up a good point. The penalties killed us alone last game. Not to mention the 222 yards ran down our throat, or that first interception by QB1 into triple coverage. But the Dallas Cowboys apparently, after that game, are 5 ranked number 6 in the NFL in penalties right now. So I agree with you. We have got to get those penalties down. And how do you do that? We talk about that when it comes to discipline. That's how the Cowboys can get past the referees. We can't allow referees to muck the game up. Man, I was at my son's football game yesterday, and they were calling flag after flag after flag. And I was like, man, this feels like being a Cowboy fan up here. Every time I turn around and make a big play, it's a flag holding on the play.
Yeah, that I'll tell you that one real dagger last week. Let's try not to live in the past like ex-wives and ex-girlfriends. But the dagger was when they called that holding on Turpin's return. That had really nothing to do with him getting open and getting broken open. It was an unnecessary play that didn't do anything, that really pulled a lot of wind out of us. And that was just part and parcel with everything that happened, besides the stupid penalties, the bad execution, bad play calling, the ineptitude in the red zone. I really do think it's a bounce back game. But again, I need to chill. In the words of my man, Damian Leva, he says, Bob, I can never get too high on this team. I got to keep myself level. So I'm going to stay real like that, mofo.
Well, let's get into the keys of victory. Y'all know we always have 3 keys to victory here. We're going to talk about those here very shortly. It wouldn't be a show without a Facebook user, Bob. You know the drill.
Welcome back, baby. Good to see you. As always, for years You've been supporting us.
Appreciate your Facebook user tapping in. It says penalties are always our issue. Now, last season we got them down, but this season now, after last game, they have all of a sudden creeped back in, and we don't need anything creeping back in, especially in Ezekiel Elliott on this run defense, because I'm going to tell you, Bill Belichick going to try to get Zeke a touchdown. You don't think he don't know that the Cowboys only have allowed 1 rushing touchdown on this defense this season? I hear you, baby. But you know, Bill Belichick is coming in to try to spoil it on the opener for October.
I mean, what do we have? I'm taking a look real quick.
Shout out to our guy, Green Bay supporter Peter Champion checking in, says, if our defensive line performs like last year's O-line, Zeke won't get much more than 5 yards past the scrimmage. Yes. But with that being said, in the same breath, that defense that showed up last week at State Farm Stadium, I don't know. Hopefully those are the replacements, and they got rid of them, and they actually show up with the real guys out here at home, because we ain't going to have time to be playing around. Let's take a look at some of the odds in terms of the numbers and everything and the history going on with the Cowboys and the Patriots. As you see there, they played each other 14 times. The Cowboys lead that series 8-6.
Ooh, that CD walk-off.
Yeah, you see that? Taking all the way back to 1971. Somebody can appreciate my gangster, you know what I mean? The Cowboys are betting favorites in this Week 4 matchup with the spread sitting at 7. The over-under is 42.5. So y'all know we're going to get to our predictions here, so keep that in mind. Are the Cowboys going to be the over? They seem like it. I'll tell you mine. I think they are for their Week 4 matchup at AT&T Stadium. So that's a little history right there, especially some blended in with the over-under. As always, y'all know we like to bring the numbers.
And look, we've got a team in the Miami Dolphins who popped 70 on a really, really bad Denver team, and they're losing right now to the Bills right now by I think 14.
Yeah, 34-20 currently. Yep, in the third quarter. With 4 minutes.
That just falls under the division rival kind of thing too. Like my man Ken Mann told me, he's like, yo, I'm not getting too high on the Dolphins right now either. We got a division game against the Bills. But regardless, this year, I don't think it's going to be people steadily smashing each other on a consistent basis. It seems to be a lot of back and forth with our teams as a whole in the NFL, especially with crazy injuries popping. So it's going to be any given Sunday, I think, for every team, every Sunday and Monday and Thursday this year. I just feel like it is. There's no one running away with anything, I don't feel.
Pretty much. Well, the first key to victory is that this Dallas Cowboys defense is going to have to rear its head again. They're going to have to shut down Ezekiel Elliott and Ramondre Stevenson. I don't care who Bill Belichick puts back there. They're going to have to shut them down like they did Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall of the New York Jets. We cannot allow this team to run that many, over 100 yards rushing. It shows that if the Cowboys can keep teams under 100-yard rushing, our odds are a lot better at controlling the game and also winning. But will this defense show up? That's going to be key to victory. Number one, they have got to shut down this run game because we know Mac Jones is pretty much one dimension.
Yeah, he's not gonna bring a lot. Diversity is not his deal. He may be able to run a little bit, but he's not pulling out Daniel Jones numbers on the ground either, who is actually a pretty good scrambler. I think he might be effective in some ways, but again, today more than anything, and I don't know what they're doing on defense in terms of assignment. I really want them to put Deron Bland back in the slot, and I want them to find whoever LC or RC2 was and put him in the spot where Diggs was, because you can't ask an inside corner to go all of a sudden be an outside corner and be effective. It doesn't work like that. I really think we just need to try our luck with the second in command there. I don't know if Gilmore's going to be that dude, because he showed some old manness last week that I'm going to try and ignore. But really, it's going to be a matter of trying to shut down these wide receivers today, too. Besides that running game, they've got a decent shot at exposing us in some ways. So,
yeah, Russell Holback tapping in right there says defensive backs need to play better than last week. He says, where is the fullback? You talking about Hunter Lipke? I don't know. We may see a little Hunter Lipke, but to keep it on track with the defensive backs, we're going to be talking defensive backs here in the month of October, y'all. Stay tuned. But yes, those adjustments back there, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Dan Quinn comes with his defense. The first key to the victory today is shutting down this running game. The second key to victory is simply pressure Mac. We need some pressure mac and cheese today from this defensive line. While they're stopping the run, like Micah said against the Jets, when they're bringing that front four down and just making you have to run the ball, then them sacks gonna come. So we're gonna get some sacks on that mac and cheese, baby. That's gonna be key to victory number 2. Can they get some pressure on Mac while we're stopping this run game? And just take it all the way out like we need to and not even let it be a game. Bob, what's your thoughts?
That's the way the defense is built. The defense is built is getting pressure up front, so the quarterback has not the ability and time to throw to their wide receivers, thus making our cornerbacks easier to jump routes, tip balls, all these other things that are happening. So, again, it's going back to what I said before. The corners, they definitely need to be playing stronger today, but it starts with that front line in the trenches like it does every week. So the fact that Tyron Smith out today is not a surprise. It's something that can be remedied. Having Zach Martin and Biotish out would be a bad thing for us, but the trenches are still where it's going to be fought. And I really do think we need to start getting some pressure. Last week they neutralized Micah, and I don't know how they did it.
They got a guy over there by the name of Matthew Judon. He's pretty good at getting sacks. But Gregory's tapping in, says, got to contain the run, make Mac Jones uncomfortable. I agree. The one-dimensional mac and cheese, baby. We got to stop the run and also make it rough for Mac so he don't have time back there. Steven taps in, says, defensive backs. I say the entire defense needs to lock in. I understand the Diggs injury came late in the week last time, but I feel we will definitely look different this week. I'm with you. The whole defense, yes, starting with the front four all the way back to the secondary, but definitely like Bob was saying, Stephon Gilmore, I don't know if it was old manish or not, but he was just a half a second behind that touchdown pass that was thrown against him in that game where he could have got to it. So I don't know, maybe Diggs could have got to that, but we'll see what kind of adjustments are they going to make, how these Dallas Cowboys going to look, what's going to come out in this first half. Are they going to come out energized? Are they going to look like that team that were world beaters in the first 2 games? Because they definitely can't come out looking like they did at State Farm Stadium out there in Arizona.
I mean, there's 2 realities here. The reality A is the fact that Gilmore was hired to be an amazing complement to Diggs on the other side of the ball, where if you are forced to throw to your second wide receiver, you're going to take a chance on Stephon Gilmore, which is usually not a great chance to take. But that's not the case anymore. And the real truth of the matter is, last week they found a way to stop our pass rush from getting anywhere near them. They had nothing but time, so their wide receivers were wide open, and that's where we got exposed. If we are in a position today where we're able to start getting real bad pressure on that quarterback, the corners can chill and just do what they need to do. But again, I don't know. I don't. I know they played. New England's played Philly, Miami, and the Jets. Right? Isn't that? I think that's been their competition so far, and they haven't won a game.
Yep. No, they beat the Jets.
They beat the Jets. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they got an L at home. They lost their first 2 home games. I think to Philadelphia, and I can't remember who was after that. But that still doesn't matter because Bill Belichick knows how to get the best out of his players, and it doesn't matter who they are. They're going to play for him. It's mostly a defensively sound team, especially when it comes to a Bill Belichick team. So the Cowboys offensively, baby, we're going to have to talk about this, man, as we kick off the month of October. You know that Halloween's going down. Well, we got the question that's been going on, the big question of the show now, 4 weeks in a row. Who is going to be the first wide receiver to catch a touchdown? So we can get out of this dilemma with Dahmer over here.
Oh, shit. A dilemma with Dahmer. That is horrifying. Oh,
I told you, you're not going to leave until Dak throws a touchdown to a wide receiver. Who is going to be the first wide receiver to catch a touchdown from Dak Prescott in this Texas Coast offense this season? Bob, who you got?
CeeDee Lamb.
That's pretty much the hot hand, everybody. He was asked in the media this week about the red zone efficiencies, which is key number 3 that we're going to get to here. Great segue, by the way. CeeDee was in the media talking about, throw me the rock. I can score.
He can.
The Dallas Cowboys are 27th in the NFL right now, 40% red zone efficiency when we led the league with over 70% last year. I mean, some wide receiver are going to have to catch a touchdown today. I think we see at least 2 wide receivers catch a touchdown today. Bob, you're going with CeeDee. I'll throw CeeDee in there too, and I think MG 13. As we all know, the number 13 is always synonymous with the month of October, right, Bob?
I love Gallup. I love Gallup, man. Gallup is my boy. I cheer for him every week. He is absolutely one of the greatest sideline wide receivers in the entire league. He just doesn't sometimes get the ability to be that number 2. Even Terrence Williams kind of has a step on Michael Gallup as a number 2 wide receiver, which is terrifying to say. But Gallup has just got a lot of heart. So it'd be great to see that too, man. But I'm just saying, CeeDee is no Des Bryant. Des Bryant was automatic in the red zone. But there's been a lot of times where just fading to CeeDee in the end zone gets us some sick touchdowns. The dude has got ridiculous hands. We need to try some of that. We definitely need to try some of that. CeeDee in the red zone is a danger.
Shout out to my guy Terrence Plummer tapping in here today. We appreciate everybody watching on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and X. We know we don't show that much love to everybody over there on YouTube, and I apologize, but we see you over there, Daniel. Appreciate you tapping in, all the folks tapping in on YouTube and on Twitter. But my guy Terrence Plummer here is a star donator. Thank you for donating stars this month. You were definitely in the running for the So Ridiculous top prize for the month of September. But shout out to my guy King Sharon on winning that So Ridiculous as the top stars guy. But Terrence is tapping in here. A star donator says, we have to stop the run. I'm with you, baby. He says, we know that they want to get the ball to Zeke in the run game. Shut that down and pressure Mac Jones. Thank you. First 2 keys to victory that we talked about here today. I love when great Cowboy fans think alike. He says, our offense can't just settle for field goals. Thank you. Boy, he's preaching to the church here today. We need touchdowns. That's how you beat teams. Yes, red zone efficiency. That's how I think we get 2 wide receivers with a touchdown. I just can't see Dak Prescott going 4 weeks without throwing a touchdown to a wide receiver. I would have been willing to put every last dime I had on DraftKings if they put a prop bet out that after 4 weeks, Dak Prescott wouldn't have thrown a wide receiver a touchdown. And that's not a bad slight on Dak. That's just wow on this Texas Coast offense. Like, wow. Really.
Post Malone. Yeah, that is kind of crazy, man. That is definitely crazy. It could be a testament sort of the way we, maybe they've said to themselves, and I have been hearing a lot about how everyone thinks that our coaching staff has no trust in Dak Prescott. the kind of plays that we've made him run over the last 3 weeks kind of really backs all that up. I don't know that you'll ever get them to say that, and I don't know that you'll ever get them to show that. But it may actually be the case, and there could be a reason. You know, we've had Dak Prescott on this team for a long time, and I don't give the guy a lot of shit. The guy, in my eyes, is kind of like an angel, you know, like he's just such a good dude. He's been through a lot of real shit that I've been through and we've all been through dark things, man, and I love the guy. But I'm starting to question whether he has the ability to take a game over and win when other people aren't winning for the team. So I'm hoping he does that and proves me wrong in that manner, because I need to see that from Dak.
He's going to have to show his face. But we know they're going to do something special for an Ezekiel Elliott, like we talked about, those footsteps coming in from that John Carpenter Halloween theme. Well, welcome to October. We got a Halloween theme going on this month. I mean, Jason is going to make an appearance as you see him visiting us here. Jason is no stranger to October, but they're going to be big up in Zeke today. And shout out to all of the green badges that are tapping in here today. Don't forget, on the supporter timeline here on Built Different Group, we have the Ezekiel Elliott Salute to Service 3XL official Nike NFLPA merchandise there up for raffle. So make sure y'all join up there. Check out the post on the subscriber timeline. It's pinned to the top of the page here. Make sure you check that out so that way you can get involved. We've been doing stuff special here for Zeke this week, especially for his return. I mean, after all, he played 7 seasons for the Cowboys. And it's funny to see a lot of fans who were just talking bad about him a few months ago were singing the praises and wishing that he would come back because of these red zone efficiencies of the Cowboys. I think the wide receivers get those touchdowns today. I don't necessarily know that we need to line Hunter Lipke up as the fullback down there on short goal line situations, but we're going to see today, because Mike McCarthy put out in the media this week they were working on red zone efficiencies this week. So we're going to take a look at what kind of game plan are they coming in this red zone. Is it going to be on the ground or in the air? So I pose that question to you, Bob, and the audience here. Do y'all think we're going to see some more run on the red zone or some air in the red zone?
I mean, we've got the ability to put great points, and we still lead the league right now in defensive turnovers and takeaways and scoring, man. So we're not a garbage team. It was a garbage game we played. So I don't know. I think honestly, if we get back to bread and butter shit, I'm talking about giving that ball to TP, making him do his magic, and hope that we've got Zach Martin in there to open those holes with Biotish today to make that happen. If we go back to what the actual spine of this offense is and have the defense just be at least 80% of what they were before Diggs went down, I think we handle this team, and I think we handle most teams. I don't know what it is playing down to an opponent, but at this time right now, we are playing another losing team. So there is a possibility that Dallas plays down to the Patriots today.
And they better not show up playing down to them damn Patriots. As we take a look at the BetMGM official report here, like we said, the over-under on that Dallas Cowboys are 7-point favorites today at home at AT&T Stadium. 42.5 is the over-under. I got 35-10. That's my prediction. I'm on the over. These Cowboys have been on the over, baby. That's 45 points. What do you got? Throw your predictions up in the comments, Bob. I'd like to hear yours too as well. If you're joining us here, make sure you throw your predictions up there in the comments. We want to know who you got in this week 4 matchup, as we are about to be 25% through this marathon. Bob, can you believe it? Already about to be 25% through the season. We just started.
It goes by fast, man. And this is my favorite month, man. My birthday is Halloween. We're just short of Halloween, the 30th. It's always my favorite time. I just took all the Halloween decorations out of the attic. I'm getting ready to scare the hell out of some people this year. This is my favorite time. The weather's starting to cool off. It's really exciting, man. I want this game to match what I am feeling environmentally, man, because it's my favorite time of year, and my wife too. And we love seeing the Cowboys succeed in October, November, December. And I hope it happens today. I really do. I hope it's just one of those things where it's like, shut up. I know you're the Patriots. Whatever the F you claim you are, this is the best defense in the league. Shut up. We win. Bye-bye.
They'll be the 1-2 Patriots. We were supposed to beat them. You know how it goes. You know how they move the goalposts. But I told you it's going to get real spooky here in the month of October. Like I said, we're going to have an appearance from Jason. You see, Jason is on the tear in Halloween, and that's basically because this month we got some weird things going on, especially in the month of October. You know, we got a Friday the 13th out here.
We do.
And October 13th, or Friday the 13th right here. You know, we got some weird things. We're going to be covering some cornerbacks, some safeties on the team and previous players here this month. We got a lot of great things coming out, a lot of great content centered around this Halloween theme, especially around Jason. And we're going to even flip things to a certain extent, but you're going to have to stick around here with us, as this is week 4 in the trenches. Our keys to victory between Bob and I, like we said today, is one, going to be stopping the run. They can't allow over 100 yards running on this defense, especially after we gave up 222 last week. Secondly, pressure on Mac, baby. We need that good old pressure mac and cheese. You know what I mean? As we getting down, stopping the run, we got to have that good pressure mac on Sunday. I think this Lion-led defense needs to eat some old mac and cheese today. Then lastly, red zone efficiency. What was that, Bob?
I was just going to sing Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage, but just keep going. Don't worry about it.
And then lastly, the red zone. How is the red zone? As I got NFL red zone here. Y'all know that's my favorite channel for fantasy football. But, you know, red zone with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I think we see more in the air. I think we see Prescott taking some shots to a wide receiver. I think they're tired of hearing the noise, too, about Dak Prescott not throwing to a receiver. And I'm just tired of Dahmer, this dilemma with Dahmer holding us hostage, man, behind this whole wide receiver deal, Bob.
I told you you're not going to leave until Dak throws a touchdown to a wide receiver.
And I mean, it's in the month of October. I mean, it's getting kind of spooky around here, if you know what I mean.
I do. But it's my time of year. So everyone's like, whoa, what's up with all the spooky masks? When I added like 4 to my collection, I got clowns back here. I don't know, man. I love masks. I've been collecting them since I was a kid. But the real important is to focus on all the other cowboy stuff, because that's what we're feeling today. And I feel we got a chance to win. And I don't care. Every year I get mad and I pull some sort of Cowboys paraphernalia down and go, damn this team. But every year I put it back up. You know what I mean? So it's obvious I'm not going anywhere. I've already succumbed to the fact that win or lose or tie, I'm going to be Cowboys till I die. And I think today is just one of those times where maybe they count us out and we show them up. And Pollard runs for 122 and 3 touchdowns. And we don't really need to worry about Dak throwing an interception.
Now you're talking my language. I got Tony Pollard in my lineup. I would need that kind of production. But
Me too.
I see your production there on YouTube, man. Shout out to everybody throwing their predictions up. I told you mine was 35-10. I'm on the over. Bob has got 28-7. I'm no mathematician. What is that, 35? So you're on the under. The Cowboys have been popping on the over a lot. So could we see some Texas Coast offense in the air in the red zone? This game at home, or the fans going to get their money's worth? Man, I just cannot see us. Somebody from a wide receiver going to have to catch a touchdown. Like I said, you got CD, I got CD and MG 13, because we're keeping everything about the number 13 here in October, baby, because it's going to get scary. It's going to get real scary if Dak Prescott don't throw a touchdown today. What if we get like 4 or 5 on the ground or something? We just go bananas. Like,
I'll be all right.
It happened, baby. That's why we line them up, you know?
I have a problem. See, among the penalties, the impotent play, the sleeping defense of last week, the one thing I had the real problem with was our offensive line actually gave Dak some time on a lot of different plays, but for some reason or another, our wide receivers were not open. And I don't know what happened there. We have got world-class wide receivers. This thing, we were talking about Cook's coming in here and doing his thing, and Speedster and all this other shit. We just haven't seen it, man. These guys aren't getting past cornerbacks, and I don't know what the problem is, man. And today needs to be the remedy of that.
And here is the New England Patriots, according to StatMuse by the numbers. They are 17th in points. No, I'm sorry, 25th in points per game, 9th in offensive or the opponent's points, right? Rushing, they're averaging about 107 on the ground. Like I said, we got to keep this rushing threat that I know we're going to see these footsteps of Ezekiel Elliott, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the Halloween John Carpenter song has been stuck in my head, man. It sounds like the footsteps of Zeke is going to be out in AT&T Stadium today. We have got to get this. Micah's got to hunt for Zeke today. We cannot have Zeke hunting for Micah, because you know Zeke love that yak, baby. And we ain't talking about the kind of yak you take to your neck. He like them yards after contact. So it's going to be interesting if Zeke got it out for some of these defenders today. I believe we see a heavy dose of them That is that key to victory. Number one, like we talked about, we're going to revisit that at halftime and see where they're at on the ground. And then overall, they're about 250 yards passing per game. So, yes, secondary is going to have to step up. This whole defense, we're going to need to see it. This team, although they may be 1-2, any given Sunday, baby, we seen that last week with the Arizona Cardinals. So the $1 million question is going to be today, and we're going to come back and visit this on the post game, is which Dallas Cowboys team is going to show up, the one at State Farm or the one from the first 2 weeks of the season?
I'll tell you what, like I just put in the comments, man, I want to see that Parsons prowl. I want to see that prowl after the sack. I want to see him cutting in. I want to see him everywhere. I want to see him embarrassed about what happened last week. And I want to see him say, this is ridiculous. I'm the person you got to deal with. And I want to see interceptions being thrown because of what Parsons is going to wreck on that offense. Let him be a game wrecker. And let me also say this, side note, if we keep seeing this silly shit out of McCarthy, I'm telling you folks, DQ might be the head coach.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a reach right there, but we'll get back to that on the post game. We're going to see how he got these men ready coming out for this spooky October. We're kicking off here with BDG. We appreciate everybody joining us today. This has been the Week 4 pregame show here. We are live every week, every game for your Cowboys today.
Yep.
Make sure you got your options to watch it. I mean, it's streaming live on a few different places. Let's take a look at it right quick where you can make sure you can watch the game at before we get out of here. But we appreciate everybody joining today. Come make sure, turn on your notifications. We'll be live after the fact.
You know,
on the post game show.
Let's get those New England payasos. Make sure we show them up today, guys.
Here we go. Here's the ways you can watch it. You got it right there. Take a look at it as you go through it. It's going to be on Fox Sports, Fubo, NFL Plus, so you can get that for $6.99 a month. YouTube Prime Time if you got it, and YouTube TV. So it's out of market, especially on the West Coast. I hate it this week because the West Coast ain't the best coast this week, Bob, because the whole West Coast got the Cardinals in the San Francisco 49ers game, I believe.
Yeah, I've got it on TV out here though, so that's all I care about.
Is that who San Francisco plays?
I got the Sunday ticket anyway.
Yeah. They got the Arizona Cardinals game out here on the West Coast. So make sure you be able to tap in to watch the game. We'll be tapped in. You know, I'll be live at halftime with the halftime tap in. Bob and I will be live at the post game for the post game tap in. So make sure you turn on your notifications. We thank you for watching. And if you watch this after the fact, make sure you use #replay. This has been the pregame and our keys to victory. Stop the run, get that good pressure mac and cheese, and that red zone. Yeah, they're going to have red hot today. We see a couple touchdowns to some receivers today by Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see y'all in the gym on the post-game show for Week 4, baby.